Pickle, onion, cheese.
Onion, exactly.
What kind of cheese is this? It's Swiss cheese.
This is the Alec from Valley. You know the Glacier Alec?
Yeah.
And we have also a little, like having like this, they make the cheese by themselves.
Can I put you on video or no?
Yeah, whatever you want.
Cool. What is your name?
Mimi.
Mimi.
Yeah.
Oh, what a beautiful place. Thank you so much.
Enjoy.
All right. All right, so I got me some little cheese and potatoes and pickles and onions. And what's cool is this is a little family-owned campsite. And so the mom is the one who checked us in, and the daughters work at the stands up here. I've seen them kind of clipping some of the flowers and doing some of the little tiny maintenance around here. So I'm sure one day they'll be running this place. But this place right here at the foot of Zermatt is just absolutely full of camper vans, as well as tents. And so I just heard her saying they have one spot left for tonight. You can't get here after 10 because it's quiet here after 10, so no more noise. So one of the things that I've heard almost everyone say is the Swiss are always on time, don't be late for the trains. And we are standing here at the gate, which is supposed to open at 7:30. That says it's closed for the ticket gate. It's 7:35, 5 minutes late, which means we are gonna miss the train because there's nobody here to sell us the tickets. And well, I guess we'll just have to wait 20 minutes because the Swiss trains are late.
And today is a big day. We are taking you to the resort town of Zermatt, and we're going to go see the most iconic mountain peak they have here in Switzerland. It's called the Matterhorn. We got to take a couple of trains to get to what we hope is going to be an amazing view. Now we're going to get glimpses of beautiful mountains on this train ride too. But first things first, we head to the city of Zermatt, we change trains, and then we have to go a little bit farther. It's going to be a fun day, guys. Let's go. So before we actually get into the city of Zermatt, I want to take a minute and show you this cool new little flying camera that we got from Hover Air. So first and foremost, thanks to the people over at Hover Air for working with us on this video. So if you follow our journey, you already know that Curt is our drone pilot, and he gets all the epic shots. And you may be wondering why I never fly the drone. To be completely honest, that thing has too many buttons, controls, and knobs and dials. It scares the heck out of me. I'm afraid I'd crash it or lose it immediately, and I totally stress out. But that is not the case with this tiny little flying camera, the Hover Air X1. I am so excited to give it a try. Now the first thing is safety. It's got 4 little blades, but they are totally enclosed in this little cage that just folds up like this. So it's safe to fly it close to you or even around other people. It is so lightweight, this thing is gonna be a piece of cake. It comes with an app, which has a lot of features, but one of my favorite things is you can literally fly this thing without an app, without a controller, everything right here with these little touch buttons. Super easy, you push a couple of buttons, this thing literally takes off from the palm of your hand. So there are 5 standard flight modes, and I'm fixing to show you all of these. But the first one is hover, the second one is zoom out, then there's follow, orbit, and bird's eye. It also has some custom modes where they can add in new things as they develop them. My favorite one that you use from the custom section right now is the dolly track.
Dolly track. Zoom out. Follow.
Now, after you've flown this thing, it's time to land it. But don't worry, that's not scary either. There are a few ways you can do that. It will know if you just stop and stand still for a few seconds, it's gonna come back to you. You hold out the palm of your hand and it lands. You can also give it some hand signals where it's kind of like got a little smart app thing built in. The one that I would probably use the most is if I don't wanna wait the few seconds for it to land, you can literally just cross your arms up over your head and that thing will come to you and then it just lands. It is so intuitive and so easy. I am absolutely in love with this thing. I cannot wait to get into some places where it's not quite so windy up in the mountains and stuff, and we can put this thing to use on my mini hikes. When we're riding the scooters, this thing will follow us on the scooters. It's gonna be epic. So stay tuned in future videos. You're gonna start seeing a lot of footage coming from this little guy right here. One more thing. If you want to record your voice, you can use the smartphone app and it will record on your phone, and it has this built-in technology that will actually remove the sound of the propellers. So you can have this thing hovering in front of you and be recording, and your phone will actually pick up the sound and the video. When it comes time to download this stuff, you can do it super easy onto social media with the app, or if you're like us and you're going to use it in YouTube videos, you just plug it into your laptop and it just auto happens. It's super simple. So if you're like me and you want to be able to capture all the fun stuff going on in your life and share it with your friends and family, or just pop up some cool videos on social media, this is exactly what you need. You'll find a link to be able to get your own Hover Air X1 in the description of this video. So now, let's get back to Zermatt and exploring these mountains.
All right, welcome to Zermatt. We are headed to Gornergrat, which is a 125-year-old cogwheel train that goes up the mountain. Now this thing's open year round, and the cogwheel is one of the things that allows this train to go up a hill in any weather. And so we're gonna get up to some pretty cool heights and some pretty cool views, so pretty excited.
So we just bought our tickets to get up to a place called Rodenboten. It's the second to the last stop on the cog rail. I bought a round trip ticket because I'll bring the train back down. Curt bought a one-way because there's a good chance he may walk down and bring y'all by some beautiful Swiss lakes. But it was 85 francs. That's probably close to 93, 95 US dollars. Our first train ride from Tasch, where our campground is, T-A-S-C-H, to here in Zermatt was 17 francs for both of us, and those are both round trip. But that's with our half pass, so things starting to pay for itself. If you did not watch our last video, you may not understand why we had to bring the train up here, and it's because Zermatt is a car-free town. Now you'll see these little battery-operated golf cart looking buses going around, but there's not really any cars here. You cannot drive here. So we drove as close as we could, stayed at the perfect campsite, and now we're up here where cars aren't allowed, and we gotta take trains. So we made it onto the cogwheel train. I don't know exactly how far we have to drive up. We're going to the second to the last stop. The last stop is a little too high in elevation for my weak heart. So we're not gonna go all the way to the tippy top, but I think that may be a good thing. I think we may avoid some of the crowds. Right, Curdy?
That's the hope, but more importantly, we avoid the high altitude for snow, and we get to go see this beautiful reflection lake, which is close enough for snow to get to, and it has beautiful views of the Matterhorn, which is the iconic peak here.
So first, a train ride up to the top. Well, almost to the top. A little pro tip we learned doing our research for this is if you're taking this train up, you're going to get the best views from the right-hand side on your way up. Now, the right-hand side filled up quickly because that's not a secret. Everyone knows that. But most of these people aren't going to walk you down to these lakes. We're going to show you. So we're not too worried about the views from the train because we're going to take you to see better ones. But if you're not going to do a hike up here on this train, you want to do your best to be front in line and apparently, from what we've heard, sit on the right-hand side. So our train has just kind of randomly stopped. Some of the power went out. Ooh, a worker's walking by. Some of the power went out in the train. Not all the power, but like the lights went out. And we actually went in reverse for maybe 30 feet and stopped again. We don't know what's going on.
I think we're broke down.
Hopefully it's nothing, because we are in a race against the clouds to get up there to see the Matterhorn. All right, maybe they'll get us going soon and it's not a big deal. We're gonna go over here, Kurt. Kurt, we're gonna go over here. The guy's pushing you this way. So our train started back up and we went a little ways, then it stopped again at the next train station, and they've gotten us all off of that train. Said it has a technical difficulty, and there's literally people getting on the tracks. It's crazy. But anyway, another train should be coming to pick us up. You back there, Curdy?
So it turns out Snow was right. Our train broke down.
Yeah.
And we all had to get off at a stop, and now we're waiting. We're not sure what's going on. I think we're waiting for the next train. Unfortunately, the last train that left the station was full. So I don't know how this is going to work out. We'll see, but we're standing on the side of the mountain waiting for a train.
And up against the clouds coming in and covering up the Matterhorn. Cross your fingers, guys. All right, it turns out that the next train came up, but it was not a special train to help us get on and get up there. They're squishing us all onto the next train. We got lucky and got a seat.
Well, all we heard was the trains are always on time in Switzerland, and we've had the ticket station was late and closed, and now the trains broke down. They got us jammed in like sardines.
No.
So we've been hearing some false rumors.
But we're almost to the top.
All right, guys. There are definitely prettier days for the Matterhorn, I'm sure. But we are grateful for the views that we have, as always. And so as we get down here, closer to this reflection lake, the sun just popped out a little bit, which is encouraging. Love to see that thing come out and show this Matterhorn in all its beauty. But look at this reflection, guys. We're still picking up a little bit. It is really gorgeous, special.
If I could only fly, I would fly so high. I would kiss the sky. It'd be so, so right. So right. So right. If I could only fly, I would fly so high. I would kiss the sky. It'd be so, so right. So right. So right.
This water is just so reflective up here, and when you look at it flat like that, you get almost a perfect mirror. But yet it's like a turquoise water, and it's pretty clear as well. And we still have patches of snow up around here, and it really doesn't even look like the snow's melting. But Snow's goal was to make it down to the reflection lake. And I think she's up the ante. Right in front of us, we have this amazing glacier. and I think she's going to be able to get to see it.
All right. The main goal was to make the train ride up here. The secondary goal was to walk down to the reflection lake. The third goal, which I didn't think I'd reach, was to walk over here and look down on this beautiful glacier. And in the distance you can see the sun, how it's kind of just barely breaking through the cloud cover. I don't know if it's coming through in the video, but it has turned some of those snow-covered mountains a golden pink color. Over here, there's waterfalls where the glaciers are melting, just rushing down. Way in the distance, which I don't think will show up, there's some gondolas. I think we're in one of the skiing capitals of the world. There's Curt down there taking a look at the glacier.
This right here, guys, is really epic. Wow, Switzerland. What a beautiful place, huh?
Unbelievable. Slow walk back to the train. So you guys look at this. Not only is there cool green moss growing on these rocks, but tiny, tiny little pink flowers. So pretty up here. Now if you look right over here behind me, we didn't get here any too soon. Our shots from the reflection lake of the famous Matterhorn had a few clouds on it already. But now that we come back from the glacier walk, the Matterhorn is gone. I consider us lucky. Now you just gotta walk up this hill to the train station, and I'll head back to Zermatt, where I'll probably have a hot chocolate and relax before heading back to camp. I think Curt's taking y'all on a hike. I don't know if he's decided exactly where yet. Who knows? So it looks like Curt's getting some expert advice.
Yes, one. And I have half.
Buying a plane ticket, buying a train ticket to go a couple of stops down. Now me, I'll go all the way down to Zermatt, where we're gonna find some hot chocolate for you guys. Now for those of you that are curious, this is the Rotenboden stop. It's the second to the last stop. You can go farther up, but this is 9,235 feet, or 2,815 meters. As high as I need to go with my heart. All right, we're on the train. Curt's got it figured out. He's gonna get off 2 stops from now. I'm gonna go all the way to the bottom. we'll meet back up at the van. It is another case of divide and conquer.
All right, guys, this is where I leave Snow. We'll see you guys in a minute. All right, there goes Snow, and here goes Curt. And so it looks like this is going to be about a 2.5 hour hike. I believe almost eye level over there. That's where we're going. I'm not sure. We'll see. But we're on the way. One of the reasons why I came down a couple stops on the train there was because, number one, this drops me off in the forest. And it's always pretty to walk through the forest. And up there we were above the tree line. And basically, I would have to just walk down through that sort of rocky area that we were just in. Except I would walk down through a different valley and cross over that valley. And so this just looked like a more practical route, and also for me, possibly a bit more scenic. And you can see the little houses down below in the valley. I believe those are ski lodges / Airbnbs. Some of them may be shepherd's homes, I'm not sure, but probably most of them are resort related. And you can see there's just lifts going up everywhere around through here. We have a nice little river crossing, and it looks like they have a nice wooden bridge to cross. What a beautiful little stream. There was obviously some kind of huge rock slide through here, and you can just see all the way down below us big giant boulders and all the way up to the top of the mountains. So this was clearly something that caved off years and years and years ago. We get a gift, our second river crossing, and if you can see this water, it just disappears under the boulders and flows down. But we do kind of have to shimmy across a little bit. So yeah, a nice little river crossing. So mostly so far the trail has been pretty flat. Other than that rocky spot, pretty normal. I'm going up a little bit right now, moving kind of fast through here. Fortunate to get some sparse shade. I don't think that's going to be the case the whole way, but it looks like we're at a crossroads up here. So let's make sure we go the right way.
All right, so I made it all the way back down the cogwheel train after saying bye to Curt, my mountain goat. And I walked a little bit through the big ski resort. I'm gonna call it a city. It's not a typical ski village, it is big. But I walked 3 or 4 blocks up the main street there. A lot of watch shops. You could buy the famous Swiss Army knife. There was chocolate shops. I peeled off into a cafe where I ended up having lunch. Had a quiche and a really good salad, a coffee, and a fresh squeezed orange juice. So it was yummy, it filled me up, but it was 35 francs, which is gonna be almost $40 US for just a basic lunch. But that's Switzerland for you, especially here in Zermatt. But now we are on the train that takes us from Zermatt back down to Tash. And Tash is the little train station town where the van is parked. Now Curt has you somewhere still up there on the mountains. And if you didn't watch the last video, you might not know I overdid it a bit at our lake hike at our last video. So I did just about as much as I could do today. I need to get to the van, put my feet up, and do a little bit more resting. But Switzerland has not been a disappointment at all. It's beautiful, and if you're a skier, if winter sports are your thing, I truly think this Zermatt area is like a playground, like a paradise. Like, I think you can ski so many different basins and valleys and slopes and mountains and just ride around on gondolas and ski lifts all over this place. So if winter sports is your thing and you've never skied the Alps, I think I'd look hard at this Zermatt area. So let's go check on the kitties, get back to our house, and wait on Curt.
All right, I am going to Sunega. And so this way is down to Findelbach. All right, so we stay up here. All right, so this hike is basically turned into a road, and I believe this is probably a road up to that lodge right there to bring supplies up. And nonetheless, the trees are beautiful, and some of them are all gnarled up, all looking old, and stuff happened to them. Maybe you guys know, I don't know, maybe some kind of disease or something, but some of them are all twisted up and look really old and big. All right, another trailhead going down. I think it's going to Findelbach, kind of down there. There must be some stuff down there. I'm gonna keep going this way to Senega. Look at that beautiful river down below us. And as you work up into these valleys, it's inevitable that you're gonna come to a river, because all the water from this valley has gotta get out of here. And it looks like this is the main river coming down from the valley. But this, as I said, has ski lifts all over it. Now this one I don't believe is running right now, and a lot of them aren't. But you can still get some pretty good coverage on this mountain. So here's a giant gondola that goes up there. I don't think this goes all the way up to the peak we were at, but you can kind of get an idea of how big this place really is. So we can't even see that area Snow and I trained to. It's just on the other side over there. And a lot of this is just skiable down through here. You can take a lift up through here, and there's passes and trails all the way down through here. We're finally coming up to this river, and we're coming up to another crossroads. Let's make sure we're on the right trail. Snow will be so proud of me. Senega, we're 45 minutes away. And I think we're probably gonna have some uphill coming up pretty soon. And I've been mentioning the color of the glaciers and the color of the water, but look at the color of the stone. It's also like a light blue with just a slight green hue. I call it kind of a slaty color, and it's kind of a soapy stone, kind of smooth, not hard, like a little bit of a soft surface. Ooh, look at this, guys. This is a raging river right here, and it looks like we have a little wooden plank bridge. Now, I don't know, without this wooden plank bridge, if you'd be able to cross this thing. The water's moving through here pretty fast. How pretty is that? All right, let's not make a mistake here. And now that we've wrapped around the valley and we're headed down the other way towards Zermatt, as we come back, we can see the Matterhorn. Now you can see there's big giant clouds all around it, so all we can see is the base. So how thankful are we that we got to see a little bit on the way up in the train. And then when we first got to Reflection Lake, there was a few clouds dancing around it. But wow, a big difference a couple hours can make up here. The one thing that's been really cool about this trail is all these beautiful wildflowers, and all through Austria and Italy and Slovenia, we'd see these all over the place. And it feels like different regions have different flowers, and some of them are unique, more unique than others. And anyway, it just makes for a really colorful walk. And then on top of it, you've got the river, and right down below us is some turquoise, beautiful turquoise water. And then look here, guys, we got some sheep, some Swiss sheep. And they've got the bells on. What's up, little buddy? How cool is that, guys? Wow, that's incredible. I love to see sheep, goats, cows, whatever, but those sheep were special. Did you see how big and woolly they were? And they had these crazy little horns that went like straight outside their heads. And but one thing about these sheep is they love to keep their face buried in the ground. Even when they're not eating, they just all tuck together, maybe hiding, maybe sleeping, I don't know. But anyway, they also had these black and white ones, like spotted cows. And they were so cool, and their bangs were so long and woolly they couldn't even see. And then with the turquoise water in the background of the lake. Wow, what an special experience. And then if you look right up over there, that's probably the shepherd, and he's watching over the sheep, and he's watching over everybody, making sure everyone behaves. And as we come around here, even though the Matterhorn is not showing all her glory, we still have the beautiful peak up into there, and we can see some glaciers pushing down. And I don't know if I've been able to see that from any other viewpoint that we've had so far. But there's several 4,000 meter peaks up through here, 10, 12, I think one even goes up to 14,000 feet. You guys can do the math, but we're starting to get over by that little village that we saw. Look at that view, guys. Wow. I have to say, I think this is one of the most stunning views on this hike. Obviously, the glacier and the view from over there was amazing. But from the hike I've been on, the Matterhorn is just right there. And you have all these other glaciers back there. And you can see the color that I showed you earlier in the glaciers. And right here on my right, going down the slope, we have those ski villages or shepherd's houses. I'm assuming they're ski villages. One last look before we turn up this hill on the final stretch. And either there, I have a couple options for my way down. All right, so there's a couple ways down. You can go down the funicular, which is like a train elevator. So picture much bigger than the gondola, but goes down at like 45 degrees, almost like an elevator. That's one option. Not sure about the cost on that. The second option is these little pump pedal bikes. So I don't think you, I don't know. So that's another option. The third option is walk down. I'm not gonna walk down, but I don't know about these bikes. What do you guys think? Should I take one of those things down? Oh, I just got some information on the bikes. The bikes are 18 francs, so about 20 US dollars to go down. She said the ride down is about a 45-minute to an hour ride down. There is no seat on these little bikes, and well, there's no pedals, so you got to push with your foot. So what do you guys think? I think I need to go over here and have a drink and rest and think about it. My energy's not at its peak. All right, guys, here's lunch. I think they call this rosti. Bacon, I think, is speck. Oof, I think, is egg. But anyway, it's like hash browns with bacon and egg, which is like my favorite breakfast. And I'm still not giving up hope on the Matterhorn. So this little place has a beautiful view right there at the Matterhorn. I can see the trail that I just hiked. So I'm gonna feast, and then I have a big decision. Do I take the funicular down, or do I take the bike? All right, guys, I just finished up my lunch. It was a tasty lunch, and now I have to make the decision. Do I go down in the funicular, do I go down on the bikes? I'm just curious. What do you guys think I'm gonna do? Leave it in the comments below.
All right, I've made it back to Tash. It's a little train station town. It's got a few little restaurants, several hotels through here, little grocery stores, pizzeria, and of course it's got our campground, maybe a third of a mile up here. So it's not a bad home base, It's probably a 20-minute train ride from here to Zermatt. You might could save a little money by staying in this town rather than up in Zermatt. Now, the campsite's nothing fancy, but its location is spot on. There are other places through here, but you're gonna have to figure out how to get to the train station, either a walk or a taxi. But I would also tell you that during season, high season, you probably need to book in advance. And I believe they have a 2-night minimum. Now, they've got some showers and bathrooms built into the containers here. Again, nothing fancy, but it does the trick. And they're really kind. All right, first things first. Let's get the door open for the kitties. Hi guys, I'm coming around, I'm coming in.
All right, not sure what you guys chose. You got one more chance in the comments. I'm going down on the bikes. I gotta turn the bike in, but that was the second option right there, the binocular, and I chose the bike, and it was fun.
If you liked this video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. It really helps us a lot. And if you want to see more of our videos, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you know when new videos come out. We'll see you guys in a few days from somewhere out here in the world. Cheers.